article reports it asks what it really means to be political.
Remember Occupy, the global protest movement triggered by the financial crisis. Now a new play explores who's responsible for national debt and who should pay.
No one ever believes what the police do until A, they've been battered on a demo, or B, they've seen footage of someone else being battered on a demo.
Shame on you!
They're the true crimes of the modern world, the ones that rob millions of people, not just one or two, take place in the big shiny glass towers down the road.
I really wanted to shine a light on the way our society is run, economically and therefore politically, because I honestly don't think that most of us really understand how those things function.
In a rehearsal space in North London, Meera Syal and others grapple with the complexities of austerity and what the alternatives might be. They're rehearsing the provocatively titled "If You Don't Let Us Dream, We Won't Let You Sleep."
Oh, let's get to work, Ray.
In this part, the cast are activists about to put the global banking system on trial, and the script reflects the anger felt by many that the people responsible for the financial crisis haven't been held to account.
Ireland was bankrupted by 15 men. Now there's 15 property speculators, so Anglo-Irish Bank, $500 million apiece, and all the rest of us will be choking on that for life, and nobody says a thing because for some literally insane reason, we feel guilty.
There were points where my mouth fell open and I thought, why don't I know this? I mean, it's obviously out there, it's on the net, why don't we know it? And that, it's a wonderful feeling to be in something where you think actually people will come away really feeling that the scales have dropped. That's how I felt, that there was a whole layer of this whole financial scandal that I knew nothing about, and you come away feeling, well, quite angry, actually, but also quite energised.
A cancellation of debts for the 99%.
Just make your debt go poof.
The play introduces the audience to Occupy's debt forgiveness programme, Rolling Jubilee. That's where banks sell poor people's debts to Occupy instead of debt collectors. The activists then let the debtors off.
Like somehow it's our fault we got robbed because we had the temerity to want a little happiness.
It's just one concept in a play that argues normal people shouldn't have to pay for the debts created by the financial crisis.
If You Don't Let Us Dream isn't about the Occupy movement, but it does pick up some of the same themes. In Britain, the most high-profile focal point for that movement of activists was here at St Paul's Cathedral.
Protesters camped out for more than 4 months, demanding an end to economic inequality.
But I was only involved more peripherally. I wasn't an integral part of it at all.
Amongst them at times was the play's writer Anders Lustgarten. He won an award to write the play for London's Royal Court Theatre. He's also a political activist.
There are very few ways that ordinary people who've got concerns about the way that the financial system works can protest that.
You just keep plugging away and you just keep fighting and you never give up.
I'm not sitting here with a list of genius alternatives. I am sitting here with a list of really interesting and difficult questions. And that's what I want this play to ask.
What do you say to people who say Occupy achieved nothing?
Wishful thinking. Because people will be back and they'll be back and they'll be back in those spaces, not necessarily outside. They'll be back occupying private equity companies and offices fairly soon. If you think Occupy is done, you are deluding yourself, willfully or otherwise.
So what do they think of all this in the heart of the city? At this interdealer broker, the artwork is appropriately financially oriented. Prefixes for the word money adorn the walls. Terry Smith here thinks Occupy is correct to say something's wrong with the city, but unsurprisingly he doesn't reach the same conclusions.
Yes, there is an alternative to capitalism. Capitalism is a really bad system. You know, it causes lots of mistakes caused by greed and misdirection of capital from time to time. It's got a devil-take-the-hindmost attitude to it. It's deeply flawed. The only trouble is all the alternatives are worse. Actually, all the options are worse because you can only have one alternative. See Russia, North Korea, etc. for details. Socialism is a far worse alternative than capitalism.
I'm Queenie and this is Casino.
We were hedge fund managers.
After the profound financial shocks of the last few years, there's something in the theatrical zeitgeist now. Money the Game show at another London theatre looks at what a hedge funder does next.
And we're performing Theatre and Cook 2012.
Theatre Uncut, for whom Anders Lustgarten has written, is a movement that gets playwrights to turn their attention to the political situation.
They cleaned us out of the square.
And in this rehearsal room, there's a feeling that, politically and globally, something is shifting.
One doesn't know when you're in it, but I can see that in the history books, people will probably look back on the last year or so and the couple of years to come as a defining period in activism.
Stripped down austerity set. What do you think? It's brilliant. It's just...
For the next few weeks, this playwright can be confident that his message about the problems facing our society at this time of austerity will hold sway here in this court of public opinion.
After the break, I'm making